Hi class, Dave here once again, and as I promised in my previous video, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what the requirements are for the class project. And as I said in that video, I don't want you to worry about this is so much work. Yeah, of course it is some work. This is graduate level work, but what I've been able to do is to provide you with what's called PSTs, or performance support tools, in which if you complete them throughout the weeks of the course as we're discussing that different topic, for instance, gap analysis, cause analysis, and so forth, then you'll really have the basis for your project. So what about the project? What in the world do I do this project on? Well, it can be done for any public, private sector, or nonprofit organization. Maybe it's in your current organization, or it's an organization that maybe you're in Girl Scouts or Cub Scouts with your children, or another organization. And it can be either a known or a perceived problem. Maybe you have some type of organization that you know that the human resources function, in particular onboarding, is not performing as well, or you have a high turnover rate, okay? Something in which you can measure is the best type of project, because what you're going to want to do is to understand the current performance, and if you can measure that performance by data of some sort and calculate it, where we don't have this many widgets made over a period of time and we want to make this many, okay? So think of a project which can be measured, so you can measure the current performance and the future performance after you've made your recommendations. And that's when you know you can evaluate that what I've done will be able to improve performance. Now, it can be an organizational, team, or individual performance problem. We tend to have a tendency to stay away from an individual performance problem. But so you might want to look at a small team or group. Now, in the first week, I'm going to give you some examples of previous projects that students have done. And I believe I've posted at least one project up on the Blackboard for you to review. So what you're really going to be doing is looking at a process or a team that is not performing at the desired level. Now, you don't have to identify names or organization. We don't need to know that. You can say, you can make up the organizational name. That's fine. I don't really have a problem with that, because there could be some, privacy issues that we don't want to violate. So that's in general what the project is about. And what I want you to do is, if you could go to page number 12 of your syllabus, that's where we start talking about the project. And just to give you a little summary, and again, we're going to go over this in the first week. This is anywhere between 18 to 32 page written report. You'll see there's a chart on page 12 in which I give you the different parts, what that report component is, how long it should be, and when the due date is. Now, what you'll be doing is you'll be submitting 3 different parts to your project. Part A, the problem statement. I will review that, give you feedback, and I will grade it. Part B then, performance analysis. The recommended length is 6 to 10 pages. That's really what the big part of this project is. That's not due till March 28th. And then you'll come back once you know that what the gap is and what the causes are. What are some suggested interventions, how you're going to implement, and how you're going to evaluate the improved performance? And that's between 6 to 8 pages and April 25th. And so all 3 of those parts you'll submit, I will grade, I'll make recommendations, and then the final paper is not due until May 6th. And basically you've written everything. All you'll need to do now for the final project is do a title page, table of contents, a one-page executive summary, and your references and appendices, okay? And that's what's due. So you're working on the project the entire course, and I'm giving you feedback for that. Now, if you go on to page number 13, I get a little bit more detail what the executive summary and the table of comments are, the problem statements. For parts A, B, and C, you will find on Blackboard specific templates for each one of those sections. And I'm giving you exactly what I'm looking for in each different section. If you use those templates, you're going to do very well in your project, and just basically answer the questions, okay? So for instance, in part A, you're going to describe what the problem is. Okay? And also too, in the course, I'm going to have each one of you just do a very quick 3 to 5 minute explanation of your problem to the entire class. And in that way, I can give you feedback at that time and ask you some questions to consider when you're working on your project, because I don't want you to get to a point where you've got to redo a lot of stuff. We want to make sure you're heading in the right direction the first time. Then we're going to be doing performance analysis, and you can see there organizational analysis, environmental analysis, gap and cause analysis, and so forth. You're going to learn about all this. We'll learn the topic. You'll be able to apply it in your paper. Then you're going to come up and we're going to spend probably 3 to 4, maybe even 5 weeks on different types of interventions. Those are recommendations for improvement. So we're going to ask you to pick certain interventions that you've learned that you feel that are going to improve that performance. Some implementations and recommendations, how you're going to implement it and evaluate it, and then at the last of the paper, which isn't due until the end, May 6th, is the references and appendices. So that's really it. Again, I'm giving you all of the templates. You're going to learn the process. I'm always available for if you have a question about it, you're not sure, if you want me to look at something. My whole goal here is for you to really have a good understanding of the human performance technology model, how to apply it, and how to improve performance in a group or organization. So again, we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go through the course. I'll talk again about it on the first night of class on the 28th, if you didn't get a chance to see this. So again, if you ever have any questions, my email is in the syllabus. You can always do that. You can give me a call, and I'll be glad to discuss with you. So good luck on your project, and looking forward to see you on the 28th.